Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today on Facebook Live. We got a really special broadcast for everyone. My name is Esteban. If you've seen any of our past broadcasts, you may be familiar with myself already. I'm one of the customer support representatives here at HeatPressNation and one of the salespeople on the floor. If you've never tuned in to one of our Facebook Lives, we like to do something special with each one of our broadcasts. We're talking about contests, we're talking about prizes and giveaways. So if you had a chance to enter last week's contest, we'll be announcing those winners at the end of today's show. But there's still time to get involved in this contest, and it's very simple. All you have to do is like and share the video, and you'll be automatically entered into winning a sampling of some of our best heat transfer vinyl. So we're going to have 3 sample packs, 3 winners, so go ahead and like and share the video, and you'll be automatically entered to win. While we're on the subject of Facebook, I want to let you guys know about our Facebook group, HeatPressNation Creators. It's a great source of information to access heat press users from all across the spectrum, from novice beginners to industry veterans, and it's moderated by the experts like ourselves here. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to our technical support team here at HeatPressNation.
Hi, my name is Bryant. I've been here from the early stages of HeatPressNation. I specialize in most of the equipment here and software, and happy to be here.
My name's Travis. I've been with the company a little over 2 years, and I mainly specialize in like GCC cutters and the vinyl systems cutters, and of course also heat presses.
My name is Jared. Good to be on the show again. I've been with HeatPressNation for a couple years now, specializing mostly in the Silhouette system, so Silhouette Cameo, Silhouette Studio, and also the other vinyl cutters as well, like vinyl systems and GCC.
That's right, that's right. And there's lots of benefits of our technical support here at HeatPressNation. One of the things we try to cornerstone our business on is going to be support after the purchase. So, it's not just closing the deal and making the sale. It's about making sure that you're successful with your equipment and your materials, and you have all the information you need every step of the way. One of the benefits of being a HeatPressNation customer is that technical support is lifetime. So if you need help getting set up out of the box, or come year 2 or 3, something doesn't seem like it's working correctly, you can always reach out to us. These handsome gentlemen here are ready to take care of you. Knowledgeable and experienced, these guys are under the hoods of these machines all day, so no matter what issue you're having, we'll be able to work through that with you. So, if some of you guys are tuning in right now, we have a comment section on the video, so I want you guys to get in as many of your questions as you can, and after we go through some of our points today, we'll be actually having a Q&A section going through those questions. And for anything we don't address, we'll be going through the comments afterwards personally, getting those answers for you guys, but stay tuned, it's going to be a great show. So, we're going to start off with some of the most common questions we get here, customer support, technical department, and give you some of those answers here. So we're going to start with the vinyl peeling. Now, some of the calls that I get on a customer line is my vinyl's not sticking, it's peeling after the wash. What would you guys say to someone who's having that kind of issue?
Well, typically when your vinyl is peeling, and we actually have a sample right here that we made, typically when your vinyl's peeling, a lot of times customers will say, hey, I think my machine has a cold spot or something like that, but that's almost never the case. When vinyl's peeling, it's almost always going to be a pressure issue. So, for example, this shirt, and I don't know if you can see it right here, but this is like peeling up right here. It's pretty bad. So, like, let's say you were pressing it. I've had customers call and say, hey, I have to press this 5 or 6 times. Because when you're peeling it, some of the vinyl stays and some doesn't. So you press it again, you peel some more. So, some of the vinyl stays and some of it doesn't. So anyways, usually it's going to be a pressure issue. Vinyl is super resilient and it's very forgiving. So even if you're coming in low, like at like 285 or 295, it should still press. And if your time is short, like even if you're only pressing it for like 4 or 5 seconds, it should still press. But if there's not enough pressure, that's where it's not forgiving. You're going to want enough, because this could happen. See right here, after a wash, it could peel off just like that. This, you can see here, clearly didn't adhere. So that's going to be a big issue, is going to be pressure. I would say something, and this is just kind of rough, but like 9 out of 10 times, possibly more. Vinyl's not sticking, it's a pressure issue, nothing to do with time or temperature.
We'd also like to recommend that whenever you press vinyl, just make sure that the grains are able to be seen through the vinyl itself and that you can actually see the texture. Because if it looks really flat like a piece of rubber, you probably didn't add enough pressure in there.
Right, so you want to see those fibers of the material kind of making that imprint on the transfer, correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, well, we focus on a few different areas here at HeatPressNation, heat transfer vinyl being one of them. Another area we have as far as, transfer decoration is heat transfer paper. Now, some people have talked to me, they've been having issues with their heat transfer paper possibly cracking or peeling. What kind of answers do you give to folks with that sort of issue?
So if you ever run into issues with your transfers not sticking or peeling or even cracking in the wash, we have some examples of that as well here. A nice transfer, for example, where everything comes out perfect, and then of course one with minimum pressure. As you can see, most of the transfer ended up not even actually adhering. And then also we ran this through the wash just to kind of see the results. And of course, with that minimum pressure, we also got a lot of cracking. If you look really close, lots of cracks in there. So pressure, of course, is always key, especially with transfer paper, vinyl, of course, as Jared mentioned. But for the cracking portion with low pressure, it could also be potentially the way it was washed. Whether it's washed in cold water or hot water will generally be the cause there. Or when you run it through the dryer, for example, you want to do like a tumble or a low heat. With higher heat, you can dry out the actual transfer and start that cracking process. So washing, carrying, construction is always very crucial for that.
Okay, very good. And what was the transfer paper we used on these samples here, Travis?
Oh yeah, so this is the Nina Jet Pro Soft Stretch, my personal favorite transfer that we sell. Great for light color shirts, almost feels like direct to garment in my opinion.
No, I mean this one here on the right came out great.
Yeah.
What sort of pressure would they be needing for that application?
With this transfer paper, you always want very high pressure. You can't really have too much pressure with these.
Okay. All right, very good, very good. Thank you for that, Travis. Another issue that some people may encounter, with maybe the temperature, would be scorch marks or heat impressions. Something you definitely want to avoid if you're putting your product in the marketplace, or even for friends and family. You want to make sure it's the best looking with your names behind it. So, how would we help out someone who may be trying to correct scorch marks or heat impressions?
Yeah, so the issue typically with scorch marks and heat impressions has to do with the material itself. So oftentimes, cotton, it has a very high melting temperature. You can press up to 400 degrees, you're not really going to have any issue with that. You may see some discoloration, but that goes away after a wash, or after, maybe a couple hours being out. Really, it's a discoloring because it's just dried out. It's just cotton, so, naturally absorbs the moisture of the air. It's dried out once you take it off the heat press, so it'll appear like you have a press mark, but it's not permanent, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas if you're pressing like a 50-50 cotton poly blend, or maybe if you have something like acrylic, spandex, lycra, stuff like that, those materials will burn and singe at a much lower temperature. We've had them burning even as low as like 305, which is the vinyl temperature. We've still had those burning. So we have a sample right here. And this is our HeatPressNation hat that we did. And if you look really closely, and I think we might have it on screen there, if you look really closely, you'll see like a crease mark along the top of the hat. This hat is 100% acrylic, so it's going to be very sensitive to heat pressing. So the temperature could be causing it to scorch, and then the light pressure that we use for the hats, it could still be causing that little indentation, that crease. The way to get rid of it, there's a couple ways. Most commonly, you can be pressing with pillows or foam underneath. It rounds out the edge underneath the press, which kind of makes the press marks less noticeable. Another thing you can do, which I know is not too popular, but you can just switch the manufacturer. Not all t-shirts are made equal. Some manufacturers will use cheaper materials than others. And so in that case, you just can't get around it. It's going to leave a line at the temperature needed for heat pressing. So unfortunately, that is possibly an option, but usually there's ways to work around it with foam and pillows to kind of reduce the images of the indentation marks, the press marks.
Okay.
We also sell units that do have interchangeable platens. This is particularly a bigger size hat, and sometimes the heating element won't fit perfectly on it, so if you need to get something that covers a little bit higher, there's upgradable platens as well that we have, and that's going to help reduce that significantly.
Awesome. So something maybe like the HPN Red Series, which is compatible with the interchangeable lower platens, available at HeatPressNation.com. Something like that might be able to be a workable solution to correct this sort of issue.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, right on, right on. Want to remind you guys, please get those questions in. We're going to be going through some of these bullet points here with frequently asked issues during the broadcast, but in just a brief moment, we're going to have a Q&A session. So please get those questions in. We got the experts up here. Let's pick their brains. Let's get some answers, guys. So touching back to a little bit what you were saying about, the materials and the fabrics maybe not all being created equally, what are some issues you guys have experienced with fabric compatibility with some of our transfers?
Yeah, so I mean, all fabrics, I should say some fabrics require a different approach. So like, for example, coated nylon or sublimated polyester, your regular Easy Weed's not going to stick to that. So that's why we have Easy Weed Extra. We've used it a couple times, here on Facebook Live. We've done it before, so Easy Weed Extra will work. Also, another thing, I'm kind of doubling back real quick to the vinyl peeling, is that if you have a really stretchy material and you use the standard Easy Weed Extra, if that material stretches beyond the vinyl's ability to stretch, the vinyl will separate. So for that, you're going to want to use Easy Weed Stretch if you're doing like workout pants or yoga pants, or even the dry fit shirts that kind of, the workout shirts that are a little bit more stretchy, stuff like that. You're always going to want to make sure that your material is compatible with your vinyl and vice versa. We recommend doing a test. Before you do a large run of a material that you haven't worked with before, do a test press. Make sure your shirt's not going to scorch, it's not going to burn, the vinyl is going to stick. Do a test wash. Make sure everything's going to come out, nice and neat. I don't know if any of you guys want to add to that.
Nothing you covered it well. Yeah.
Okay, right on. So I was starting to say there's a few different areas we focus on here at HeatPressNation. One of them's definitely going to be the heat transfer vinyl we were speaking about. I know we went over heat transfer paper, but another area we focus on is sublimation. Now, what would you guys help out with someone in regards to sublimation transfers, blurring or ghosting, or maybe even discoloration on their transfer?
All right, guys. The great thing about sublimation is that it's actually very easy to tell if there's an issue with it, and that's what I love about this here. So here I have 3 examples and 3 mugs with the same design, but cooked at very different time and temperatures. The first one I have here, as you can tell, is very, very light, and the reason why this is because there was not enough heat and not enough time applied. The next one we have is going to be the perfect mug. Let me switch this over. And the colors are obviously going to look very vibrant. And one thing you can tell about a perfect mug is that anytime you touch it, it's going to feel just like a brand new mug. It's going to be very nicely coated. The colors are going to pop out right. The edges are nicely sealed. And just all the way a very good press. Now, once you get an overcooked mug, one way to tell right away is that the texture of the mug is going to have this nasty, like sandpaper-like feel to it. Go and try it out.
I can feel it right there.
So what's happening is you're actually burning the polymer film on that, and then the paper is actually burning onto it as well. So a lot of that is actually the sublimation paper burning onto it. And this happens if you're cooking it above, I would say 385 degrees for 190 seconds. That's about the threshold we'd recommend for a sublimation transfer. Also, your colors. Your dark colors are going to turn brown, especially the black. Your reds will kind of turn orange, brownish as well. So you want to pay attention to that. If you're working with dark colors, we'd recommend a little bit of a cooler temperature with a little bit more time. If you have a lot of bright colors like this one, a little bit higher temperature and lower time works better, just because the colors respond a little bit differently depending on how it's pressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, you help me all the time with some of these tech-related questions. Try to keep from transferring when I can, with the information you guys give me, answer questions on the front line. But I feel like you told me something once about possibly dipping a transfer into lukewarm water to maybe seal the colors better. Could you elaborate a little bit on that for us?
Yeah, and I forgot to touch up that if the paper gets stuck to your mug, it's overcooked, okay? So with that being said, when you're putting a mug in let's say a bucket of lukewarm water, you want to make sure the water is really warm, because if it's any cold at all, that shift and change in temperature is going to crack the mug instantly.
It's going to shock the substrate.
It's going to shock it, it's going to crack, and you're going to have to redo it. So what I'd recommend is after you sublimate, let it sit out for about a minute or two, take out the transfer and then dip it in, because what happens is the colors get sealed right away and all your colors are going to show its actual true form.
Yes.
A lot of times when you do a sublimation transfer and you take out the paper and you look at it, the colors are actually not going to be right until you drop it in water, take it out, and then it should look all good again. So that's and realistically, it's not required to do that. Mm-hmm. If you let it sit out for long enough, it's going to eventually fix itself. But if you're running a store and you have to sell a mug, you don't want them to touch a really hot mug, then we'd recommend doing that so you don't, burn your hands.
Right on. That's an inside life hack pro tip right here from Technician Bryant. Thank you for that, sir. Want to remind you guys really quick about our contest we have running. There's still time to get entered, so all you have to do is like and share the video, share it with a friend, share it with 100 friends. You'll be automatically entered into winning a sample pack of some of our best heat transfer vinyl. So, go ahead and get those entries in. And, like I said earlier, we're going to be announcing the winners from last week's contest in just a brief moment. But, let's keep the ball rolling here. Now, a question I get, now, this one's a little different because it's not a product that we really offer here, but it is completely compatible with our heat presses. I'm talking about plastisol transfers. Brian, I know this is one of your strong areas you know about. So could you tell them a little bit about what a plastisol transfer would be?
Yeah, absolutely. Plastisol transfers are not something that we actually make. These are screen print transfers that are custom made on a special sheet of paper that is able to be released onto the shirt. So the difference between that and the stuff that you can buy at HeatPressNation is that you're talking about a film, a heat transfer polymer film versus actual ink. The quality is going to be a little different, and the application might be a little bit different as well. So one thing I'd recommend about plastisol is that a lot of times when they're testing this stuff, they are testing it with a completely different press. And every press is going to be a little bit different, so temperature and time is not going to be set in stone. If you say it's 385 degrees for 10 seconds,
yes,
it may be a little different depending on the machine. So what we've seen with plastisol transfers is that a lot of companies, fortunately, give you a range. They give you 365 to 385, maybe 8 to 10 seconds. Just go the maximum route. Just going a little bit more is not going to hurt the transfer. It's only going to help it.
Yes.
When you have other transfers like transfer paper and transfer vinyl, I wouldn't recommend overcooking that stuff because it's a different type of transfer, and whatever they recommend is always going to work. And one thing we also noticed is that they're cold peel as well. Because the ink has to actually settle into the fabric and pretty much rest there.
Yes.
If you want it to release from the paper, you got to let it cool down. Because if it's hot, think about ink being rubbed around. When it's hot, it's obviously going to smear off. So, a lot of times they're cold. Just double check to make sure that the settings are completely correct.
Okay, yeah. All right. Just keeping the ball rolling here. We do engineer and develop all of our heat presses to perform at a high level for a very, very long time. But, from time to time, there are issues where it may call for a service or a warranty repair. Some of you may not know, but we actually do all of our warranty and service work here in-house. Right at our California location. So, we're not outsourcing anything like that. These guys are underneath the hoods of these machines all the time, correcting issues, solving problems. What can you tell them a little bit about our in-house repairs and services we offer here?
Sure. We've been doing this from the very beginning of our company. We have a great warranty in place that is going to protect you with your equipment as well. We do provide in-house repairs, and something that we're very, very proud of here. We have a full technical staff that has the knowledge to repair electrically, mechanically, and all the parts of your machine. And all the repair is done in-house. We don't source it out anywhere else. Everything is done here, and we have a very quick turnaround time. So as soon as your equipment gets on here, we're going to work on it right away. And typically, you're looking at about a 1 business day turnaround. Once we're able to get it fixed, we're able to get it right back to you. So service is something we're definitely proud about.
Absolutely.
Parts as well. We're able to provide parts for all of our machines. There's nothing that's going to be not available or anything like that. So everything is current. And of course, you can always get in contact with us anytime with our lifetime technical support. We're able to walk you through anything necessary to get that replaced, just in case you want to fix it yourself, instead of sending it in. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And guys, just so you know, if you have any questions about any of the processes we're going through, any of the products we're mentioning, please feel free to give us a call, 1-800-215-0894, or visit us at HeatPressNation.com. We got representatives standing by to take orders, answer product questions, or help you troubleshoot and correct any issues you may be experiencing. So, we kind of touched on how, we could take care and make sure your machines are always in tip-top shape, running nice and smooth. But, sometimes you may be having trouble installing software or, getting a program set up to run correctly on your computer. We actually are able to help you out remotely from our location here and give you that assistance you need, and it's called Team Viewer Support. Travis, could you tell them a little bit about how Team Viewer Support works?
Yeah, definitely. So with Team Viewer, it's a remote assistance program. We're able to, of course, with your permission, actually connect to your computer remotely and give you a step-by-step, make sure everything's installed properly, and give you more of a hands-on setup tutorials. Make sure that you fully understand, and just overall make sure that it's completed properly. Whether there's an error, we can get it fixed on the spot, make any needed adjustments, and just make sure that it's working perfect, from the get-go.
Right on. So you could actually, go into their computer and they can see, the steps you're taking, adjustments you're making, while they're at home.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just wanted to add, with your permission, of course, we're allowed to do that. It is a free service that's available with us with HeatPressNation, lifetime for free. As long as the equipment and supplies or software, whatever is purchased with us, we're able to do that with your permission. And as long as you call in, we'll definitely, we're always hands on deck to be able to help.
Right on. That's great. That's great. And that's not all. There's so many different ways that you can get the assistance you need. We also have a system in place with help support tickets. So, there might be an issue after hours, or maybe you don't have time to get on the phone and speak with a technical representative. Jared, what could you tell our customers about the help support ticket system we have here at HPN?
Yeah, so we do employ the ticket system here at HeatPressNation to get your issues taken care of in a timely manner. So if you ever have an issue, like Esteban said, if it's after hours, maybe it's a weekend when we're not here, you can go to our website, heatpressnation.com/support. And right there, you can go ahead and put in a help desk ticket, leave us your name and information, brief description of the problem, and we'll get right back to you as soon as possible. If it's a weekend, like Monday morning, we're going through the tickets from the weekend, answer them in the order that they come in. And another thing is that, like, maybe you want to call back at a specific time. You can put that in, like, hey, please call back. Of course, it's within our hours. One thing that I love is that if you put in your ticket by 4:30, you'll get a response same business day. So it's 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. As long as the ticket's submitted by then, you'll get a response same business day, which is really great. If you have an urgent issue, let us know. You can even let in the ticket urgent. Please call back ASAP or whatever. Oftentimes we'll respond depending on the issue via email or phone call. We have lots of great technical support videos that we can sometimes even custom make just to help you out with your issue in particular. So really, whatever issue you're having with whether it's a machine or anything like that, we have more than likely have a video, and if we don't have one already, we can make one, produce one just for you, walk you through the issue on your machine. Tons of great support on YouTube as well. So we encourage you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have lots of great videos there that cover a lot of the most common troubleshooting and use issues. But yeah, the ticket system is great for ensuring that you get a response.
That's right. Jared, you and I have worked together personally on some of that. One of my favorite customers, Paula, she recently picked up a multifunction press from us. So for those of you who may not know, a multifunction heat press is a single machine that can actually do more than one application. For example, the Signature Series 15x15 multifunction heat press that Paula bought, the heating element is actually interchangeable with a curved one, so you can do hats. Same thing with the lower platen. You can bolt in that lower plate so that you can change your flat swing away heat press and switch that to you can do heat transfers onto caps. Now, if you've never done something like that before, it might be a little bit of an intimidating task, but Jared and I were able to shoot a really quick video, walked her through the entire process, unscrewing the different bolts, and it really just made her day. She didn't know how to get that done, and she was able to switch between the functions, and now she's banging on all cylinders. So thank you for that, Jared. And that's something we're willing to do for each and every one of you. If you need some visual to go along with the over-the-phone instruction, these guys are the pros. We'll get that set, and as Jared touched on, we likely have it already in our database, but if for any reason we don't, we'll go ahead and get that cooked up specially just for you. And as he mentioned as well, the YouTube channel, content updated weekly, and we also have archives of all of our previous Facebook Live videos. So we do some fun stuff up here besides from the giveaways. You might just catch us heat pressing a quesadilla, but also very useful stuff. So the YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeatPressNation. Subscribe, like the videos, share with your friends. Great stuff there. So, we went over a lot of stuff today. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to, hang out with me here on Facebook Live. But, let's get to some of these questions. I'm going to go through the comments now. And, guys, for any questions that we don't get to today, we'll be, going into the comments afterwards. Want to give a shout out to everyone for joining in today and tuning in for the broadcast. Thank you so much. So let's get to some of these questions here. So we got a question coming in from Alex Lopez from earlier in the broadcast. Alex Lopez is saying, I recently had a problem with some heat press vinyl. It came off the shirts of one of our clients. We've done hundreds and it's never happened before. Can too much heat or pressure cause this vinyl peeling?
That's a great question, Alex. Vinyl itself, you have to look at the brand type and the fabric compatibility for it, as long as you have everything in check. So let's say, for example, you're using Caesar Easy Weed, just standard vinyl. You have a cotton shirt. You're pressing at 305 degrees for 15 seconds. The only real thing that's going to cause it to peel like that is going to be the pressure part. So touching up on that, if I were to use the same thing, let's say Easy Weed Stretch this time on the same shirt with the same settings, well, here's the thing. Stretch requires a lot more pressure than standard one does. And it's to the point that if you're pressing at the same exact pressure level, the vinyl will actually peel. You can actually peel with your fingers.
Oh,
so
wow.
you actually have to add a lot more pressure for that. So that would really depend on the brand, the type, of course, and of course, if everything checks out on those areas, and the pressure level. And so what we recommend is what I would do is just get a regular piece of paper, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, cut it down long ways, and then just stick in the paper in the front of your machine, maybe about finger length, okay? Lock it in and see if you're able to pull the piece of paper out. If it pulls out, then your pressure's too loose. You got to make sure you get it to a point where your paper gets stuck completely. And you could probably add a little bit more pressure from there. It's not going to hurt it. But at that point, that's fairly good enough. So.
Okay.
You want to answer that?
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of is if something is pressed really close to a collar or a seam on the shirt. I'm not sure where your placement is. And you're welcome to email us also, support@heatpressnation.com. You're welcome to email us a photograph of it so we can actually take a look. That'll probably help out a lot in determining what the exact issue is. Just want to put it out there that if you're pressing really close to a collar or a seam, a pocket, button, etc., and you're not using a pressing pad or pillow, that could highly affect the press. That would cause it from getting enough pressure, which kind of going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier if you're watching the broadcast, is the vinyl peeling. So just want to put that out. That's another thing that could be it. But yeah, you're welcome to send email us a photograph of your transfers. We'll take a look at it after the broadcast. Support@heatpressnation.com.
Absolutely. So you hear that, Alex Lopez? If you do need some further assistance and a little more in-depth support, give us a call, 1-800-215-0894, and we'll get this sorted out for you. We're moving along here, guys. Christy Dawkins, she had a question about sublimation. An issue she seems to be having here is sometimes the paper is leaving a sticky film on the shirt. She's looking for a little advice in that department.
We had asked before this if there's what kind of paper she was using.
Yes, that's right.
The paper itself and the ink doesn't have any qualities to where it would actually leave a sticky film residue. So we have to actually look at other variables.
Okay.
What is the fabric made out of? Is it 100% polyester? Who's the brand on that shirt? You have to see if there's anything else that would be causing that sticky film, because sublimation in itself and the paper, once you undercook it or overcook it, whether you burnt the paper or not,
yes,
it's not supposed to leave anything like that. So we gotta figure out what else might be in there. Maybe it's a brand of paper that's not compatible for it. It could be that. But once we get that answered, let us know what everything you're using, your printer, your ink, your paper, and all that, and maybe even the heat press, and then that'll help us get a better idea.
Okay, very good, very good. Great facts up here, guys. All right, so I got kind of a similar question here from it was like Jay Quiet Storm Duncan. Good morning to you too. Now they've been shopping around for heat press transfer paper that doesn't leave a film on the shirt once pressed.
Say that question.
So they're asking, they're looking for a heat transfer paper that won't leave a film on the shirt after it's pressed.
I think he's referring to the polymer background. Yeah. Travis, you want to share from that?
Sure thing. So with most inkjet printers and papers, they're going to all have that film unless you actually go in and trim off all the excess. There is a transfer that is available known as a laser transfer, where it does have that self-weeding property known as Forever Laser Light, Forever Laser Dark. It does require an Oki printer, though, so there are, of course, some restrictions with white toner, of course, yes. But with standard inkjet printers, it's not going to really be avoidable without actually going in and manually trimming it, or using a vinyl cutter that has contour cutting where it can automatically trim that out. But the easiest way, of course, is the self-weeding transfer paper by Forever, for example.
I did want to give some bad news, though, that unfortunately for inkjet transfer paper, there isn't a self-feeding paper. Otherwise, it'd be such a glorious paper. You know, it's only available for laser, unfortunately, and white toner. So, you know, if you guys are searching, there's
get
no.
that question a lot.
Yeah, we do get that question a lot. So I just want to put it out there.
Okay, right on. Great stuff, guys. Thank you for that. Moving along here, Amanda Stallman, thank you for tuning in. Amanda's seen some of videos in the past of people using heat transfer vinyl onto mugs. For plain text mugs, saying it would give a great pop. Any advice or thoughts on a heat transfer vinyl onto a mug?
Yeah, and I know this is real popular with the silhouette crowd. We've seen the demonstrations live. I've been, you know, because I'm at the silhouette conferences twice a year. We'll see you guys, Atlanta, November. But yeah, no, we're there twice a year. There's even you know, demonstrations done. So I've seen it done. People are cutting, you know, glitter, especially glitter heat transfer vinyl, using a heat press to press it onto mugs. The problem with that is that it's not 100% permanent, and it's definitely not as going to be as good quality as this. So like this, you could put this in your dishwasher 1,000 times, and you'll probably break your mug before you actually get the ink to rub off, or fade away. Whereas if you're transferring heat transfer vinyl onto your mugs, you can't dishwash it, really can't dishwash it, and then you're just going to have to hand wash it in cool or lukewarm water, and it's not going to last as long. Eventually it will rub off and fade away. So if it's for like an event, or you know, if you're doing it for family, that's fine. If you're trying to sell it, I would highly recommend against it. You're probably going to get the same results if you use you're probably better off using adhesive vinyl, because it'll last about the same amount of time, and with adhesive vinyl, you don't even have to heat press it. So that's what I would recommend. So it is possible, it can be done, it is being done, but it's just not nearly as permanent as the sublimation.
Okay, right on, right on. Shout out to Art Nieves. He actually was echoing the sentiments of Jared on that one there. So, yeah, also was recommending possibly sticker vinyl. If you are looking to use something like that, aside from sublimation, there are still other means to go ahead and decorate the mugs. You know, I think we're getting a little closer to the end here, so, you know, for any questions that we do not get to today, we'll be going through, you know, afterwards, but, you know, let's see what else we got. We got one coming in right now from Mike. So, what would cause Nina Jet Pro Soft Stretch to be grainy when pressed? Prints perfect, but when pressed at 380 degrees Fahrenheit, the cover sheet sticks, and when does removed, the image is grainy and rough.
Yeah, grainy, it just means that there was an inconsistent press there. The thing about light transfer paper, especially the Nina Jet Pro Soft Stretch, excuse me, it's the thinnest light transfer you can buy in the market, I would say so. What that means is the film itself is so thin that just like treating Easy Weed Stretch, one of the thinnest vinyls in the market, you have to apply a lot of pressure. It's one of those things where you have to let it settle underneath the fabric and don't let it sit on top, because if you let it sit on top, a lot of it's going to get stuck on the paper. Just like the example we showed earlier, you're going to get a lot of spotty issues. So what you should be seeing is that the pressure, first of all, you know, do it with the paper pressure test. As soon as you press it, make sure it's all in there. And then what I do sometimes, and this is not necessary, but if you just want to make sure that graininess is there with the full color, just make sure you press it again with parchment paper. And what we've done that with our transfers here, and actually adds a really nice finish to it, like a very direct-to-garment screen print-like feel to it.
Awesome.
But just to answer that question again, pressure was the issue right there. You gotta make sure it's added. Yeah.
I'd like to just add one thing. When you're using light transfer paper, the paper, when you peel it off, it should peel away clean. You should see little to no ink residue on the paper when you're done with it. So if you're peeling it away, it's getting kind of grainy because it's kind of almost like pulling up at the top layer of the shirt. So I imagine you're getting a lot of ink still on your transfer sheet. Just cook it. You can increase your time as well, but increase your pressure more than likely. So increase the pressure as high as you can get it, and then if that still doesn't work, increase your time. Cook it longer. Maybe come down to 375 and just go maybe 45 seconds, maybe even 60, depending on your heat press as well.
Oh, and sometimes with light transfer paper too is at the very end, the paper might look a little yellow after you peeled it, which is completely normal. Every manufacturer is a little bit different. You know, sometimes it'll be completely clear, but if you see a little bit of yellow but not your graphic, you know, you don't have to stress. That's normal.
Okay, right on, right on. You know, Mike actually had a little bit of elaboration on his question. I wanted to put out there. He's working with Gildan, so I know we're familiar with that fabric. Jared, I know you usually take care of getting when I need a blank shirt from All Style or any company. What are your thoughts on working with Gildan?
So Gildan is great because of the high temperature and cook time needed for Jet Pro Soft Stretch. You're probably going to want to go with 100% cotton just to avoid the press marks that we were kind of talking about earlier. But Gildan is manufactured for customization, so they're meant for screen print, they're meant for heat press. But I would just stay away from any cotton poly blends if you're going to be doing Jet Pro Soft Stretch.
Okay, right on. Great stuff, great stuff. All right, so we got another question coming in. One of our customers, Paula Payne Hawthorne, just picked up a Sawgrass SG800. Awesome. But she's looking for a mug press recommendation. Travis, what would you recommend for starting off with a good mug press?
Definitely. So with our mug presses that we carry, we actually just recently came out with one maybe about a year ago as our signature series. Compared to our previous generation, now has 4 pressure adjustment knobs to be able to really get that full coverage. Of course, digital time and temperature, as with most of our other machines. It's overall just a very solid machine. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on it. It's definitely worth checking out. It's the HPN Signature Series, and then with that, also has 6 different attachments that are available. So you get a very large variety, from 11 ounce all the way up to shot glasses, for example.
We're also very proud of our grade A heating elements. Much better than before. Now they just have a lot more coverage. You're able to get full bleed top to bottom easily without a lot of wiggle and anything like that. And when you have 15-ounce mugs, the coverage area is going to be a lot bigger. Don't stress it. You can still do full bleed on a 15-ounce mug as well, just because of those 4 pressure knobs and the heating elements that have been improved with our machines.
Okay, very good, very good. Thank you, guys. Got great questions coming in here. Getting to pretty much to the end of what I have seen here in the comments. Now, Art Nieves has a comment about the Gildan black T-shirts. He's saying that they have more of an off black color. It looks more like dark green. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, at that point, I think it's just going to come down to personal preference, and that's why it's important to try different shirt manufacturers. Like we stated earlier, if you absolutely must press like tri-blends or something like that, and one's not working out, well, try a different manufacturer. There's so many T-shirt manufacturers out there that can really get you what you want. Me personally, I really like, and it's funny because they're owned by Gildan now, but All Style. They have the All Style. It's the ultimate, right? It's the 5301N. I know the model number, for goodness sake. But yeah, we love them because they're super soft, and the colors, they stay pretty true after you wash them a lot. And we're not like involved, like they don't pay us to say that. Like we just they have a warehouse nearby. That's also super important too. Find someone local so you're not, paying a ton of money in shipping. But lucky for us, All Style is nearby. Great product, and their black shirts look really black, so I like that a lot. But yeah, if a shirt company is not meeting your needs, there's tons of other ones. I think it's very important to try different stuff, see what works best for you, what works best for your customers. If you notice your customers are complaining about a fit, saying, "Hey, these shirts it's a double X, but it fits me like a large," it's like, okay, well, you should probably avoid the slimmer athletic fits and go for find someone who makes a classic fit. Your customers are gonna lead you to where you need to be as far as sourcing your shirts but yeah, there's lots of great options out there. I like All Style Ultimate T-shirt. You'll love it.
Right on. Super soft. So we got some more questions coming in. Marlena Wyatt, thank you so much for watching today. Marlena, guys, she's wondering, how do you get glitter HTV on top of a heat transfer paper image? Would we know how to do something like that?
It's not a very popular question to get, I want to be honest, but we have done an internal testing here with certain transfer paper and certain vinyl. EasyWeed itself sticks onto our Parapy Dark Pro, I believe, pretty good, but it doesn't stick on the Nina paper. So Nina Dark paper, sorry, the opaque paper on both. It doesn't stick on a Nina. I believe it may stick initially, but after about a day or so, it comes off, which means it's completely incompatible. So with glitter, we haven't done that testing yet. However, this is something that we're still looking to do, and I believe with the polymer adhesive that's used on the glitter, we're more inclined to think that it's actually going to work. Yeah, but it requires for us to make a statement to say that something does work, we have to wash it more than 5 times, maybe 10 times. We have to make sure we stretch it, make sure it sticks. But for now, with the testing we've done, we've seen that EasyWeed sticks on Parapy Dark Pro just fine. Yeah,
and Jet Pro Soft Stretch too, right? Yeah. So we tested it, right?
Nina Jet Pro?
We'll double check on that. Actually, I'm going to follow up in the comments on that. I'm pretty sure we did test Nina Jet Pro Soft Stretch, layering EasyWeed over it. it should work out just fine. I'm going to follow up in the comments on that, though. I'll have to double check our records.
Okay. Very good, very good. Michael Estrada, thank you for tuning in. So your local youth director, got the email address. We will be dropping you a line after the broadcast. If you have any questions, we can go over that at that time. But thank you for tuning in. Now, I had a question kind of referencing to the warm water dunking as far as getting the ink in there. Everett Bessie, thank you for watching, Everett. Now, they've heard that the water dunk can actually result in micro cracks. They were told to use a fan on low to cool them more evenly. What would you guys have to say about something like that? His mugs are coming out perfect that way. He's just a little curious.
Oh yeah, you know, the whole water thing is actually completely unnecessary. You're gonna see tons of videos on YouTube telling you to do that. A lot of people doing it. The only real reason you should do that is if you want to cool it as fast as possible to show someone the result you're getting, but it's not gonna improve the quality of the mug. It's not gonna improve the quality of the design. Realistically, you're expediting the sublimation color process, really, because after you cook it and take it out of the mug's still about 300 something degrees, and as the air cools it down, the colors will on its own seal itself. So if you have it on a fan, that's perfect. Just have it in a nice ventilated area where it can get cool. That way you won't get those micro cracks, because water, if it's a little too cold, it will actually crack the mugs, even if you don't see it. Yeah. Warm or hot water, yeah.
Okay.
Like, not boiling, but
So it's not shocking.
Yeah,
the
between warm and
temperature.
hot, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Cold water will totally crack it.
It will.
Oh, wow.
And you can test it yourself. Take it out of the mug, go to a sink, turn on that cold water, and you're gonna hear that crack right away. So.
Oh my goodness, yeah. What Brian's referring to is that temperature shock. Coming out of that heating element sleeve, that temperature, can result in cracking. So, always exercise caution, when you're doing that sort of process there. All right, let's keep it moving here, guys. Paula Warner has and loves the cap and label combo press. Thank you so much for your support. If you ever need any assistance or have any questions, you can always reach out to these gentlemen here. It's going to be 1-800-215-0894, or you can visit us at HeatPressNation.com. We're getting closer to the end here, guys, but there's still time to get entered into this week's contest. It's very simple. How do they enter, Brian?
Basically,
Sure,
yeah, just like and share our page. If you guys want to,
Yeah.
I think Jared's gonna be a better one.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that, sorry.
so just like and share this video. So if you want to be entered into the contest for next week's drawing, which we're going to be giving away, Esteban, we're giving away?
We got 3 sample packs of some of our best heat transfer vinyl. So that means we've got 3 lucky winners coming up. So, prizes to go around. So make sure you get those entries in. As my boys told you, very simple. Like, share the video, and you'll be automatically entered into the drawing.
Yeah, and there's cool vinyl in there, right? These are not just like 2 or 3 sheets of vinyl sample pack. These are some pretty nice vinyl that's been handpicked. We know you guys are going to love it.
Some of the fashion. I believe it doesn't have, do you know what's in it? I believe there's some of the fashion print in there. So it's not just blank colors. There's actually some really great patterns, like zebra. And
Awesome.
Not sure of the specifics, but there's some pretty good stuff in there.
Right on, yeah. I want to give a shout out to our shipping department and one of our customer support representatives, Norma. I know they've been working on getting those sample packs ready for this contest. So thank you guys so much as always for that. Norma, you may have talked to her. She's one of our colleagues here on customer support. So, definitely total team effort here at everything we do at Heat Press Nation, right, guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You've got some more questions coming in. Barbara Joy, hoping to see y'all at Atlanta next summer at All Things Silhouette. We're coming sooner than that. We'll be there in November. I believe the weekend of the 4th. This All Things Silhouette's kicking off over in Peachtree, Georgia. So, and then we go back in June, I believe, also. Yes. Yeah, so we'll be heading out there in just a few weeks. If you guys got any more questions, we want to try and answer as many. So please get involved, get active in that comment section if you do have any questions. You want to take a quick moment to mention our hashtag. We know you guys are all amazing artists out there with your heat presses. We'd love to see what you guys are doing. So please use the hashtag HPN Creators across all social media. Use it on your Instagram, use it on your Twitter, and you never know. You might get a reshare on our page. So please keep those coming in. We'd love to see what you guys are working on. Let's see, what else do we got here? We got a big woohoo from Philip Delgado. There's a woohoo back at you, Philip. There we go. There we go. I want to give a shout out to Jill Allen Stemler. Cool, loves the contest. Hope you were able to enter today. Very simple. Like and share the video, and you could get yourself possibly a sample pack of some awesome heat transfer vinyl to work with. Let's see, what else do we got here? Art Nieves is letting us know he thinks the Sawgrass is the best printer for any sublimation prints. We know there's others on the market, but what are you guys' thoughts on the SG400, the SG800?
So a nice printer that we offer is the Sawgrass printer. It's very popular for sublimation due to its fact that it has self-cleaning heads. So comparing to like a normal Epson printer is generally a very common one. They don't actually have that self-cleaning head though. So if you're not printing daily or every other day, eventually that ink will start to eat away at those print heads and potentially damage the printer. So with the Sawgrass printer, self-maintenance, you don't have to really worry about it. Just leave it plugged in, power it on. It's very user-friendly is the best thing about that.
The ink production, all that, and the color correction is done in-house with Sawgrass. So a lot of questions we get and a lot of issues we have is with customers using off-brand sublimation ink. They may be using just one inkjet printer and including some third aftermarket inks in there, and they're not getting the colors they want. Well, the main reason why you're not getting the colors you want is probably because of your driver. Your color profiles are not updated and all that. So Sawgrass is really good about providing free power drivers, color profile updates so that your colors are always going to be accurate the way you want it.
Fantastic, fantastic. If you guys are looking for any sort of assistance or want some more information on anything that we're going over here today, they're extension 3, 1-800-215-0894. Jill Allen's touching in on the Sawgrass question, saying she loves her SG800. Go big or go home. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, that's the best printer out there.
Right on, right on. At HeatPressNation, we really try to, add tremendous value to all your purchases, to all your experience with us, and that's going to be with this support after the purchase. Sometimes I'll take calls in customer service. Someone may have thought they found a great deal online, but now their machine's giving them problems, and there's not really that support there. So, the added value in being a HeatPressNation customer is that, as I said earlier, if you need assistance getting set up and running, getting started, these guys are here for you. If, a few years down the road, into owning your machine, you feel something's not working correctly, or, you want some insight on a new application because your business is expanding, we're a team here. You're working closely with these guys. You'll develop this relationship, and partnership. Have direct extensions, and they're really on top of their contacts. So there's definitely tremendous value to being a part of the HeatPressNation family, and you'll see that. Visit us at heatpressnation.com and come and see what we're all about. Yeah, please.
We just want to say we know a lot of stuff that is out there, the printers, the software, the cutters, the heat presses, they're a little intimidating, but please give us the chance to and the opportunity to help you and kind of get you through that setup, because initially it is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but once you get over that learning curve, everything is just going to be smooth sailing from there. So, just give us the opportunity and we can definitely help you out.
No, that's right. I mean, a number of us here have actually taken the skills and knowledge that we've learned from being around this equipment, being around these materials, and actually gone into business for ourselves. So, it's a multi-dimensional assistance you're going to be getting. I know Travis, he makes stuff for his friends all the time, custom pieces, fan art graphics, really awesome stuff. And, when I need something that I'm looking to get done, he's the first person I go to. He's always got the time to help me with my artwork, get my press settings right, and, he's really helped and teach me a lot. I've learned a tremendous amount from, being around these handsome gentlemen here in our tech support, and they're ready to help you too. So, if you guys do have any questions, we're here. Always know that. So, on that note, let's give some stuff away. You guys ready to do some contests? All right, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
Let's give away now.
All right. So I usually like to do the prize giving away, but we're giving 3 prizes. I got 3 techs up here, so I'm actually going to pass the reins off. So who wants to get started?
Me?
Brian? All right. Fantastic. Let you do the honors there.
Let me try to hold this together. I got it. All right. So you want me to? Right away?
Yeah. Let's see it.
Martha Freese.
Martha Freese, congratulations. You are a proud winner of a pack of Nina Jet Pro Soft Stretch.
Nice.
Please get in contact with us, Martha. We're going to need that shipping information. We're going to get that prize sent out to you right away. Congratulations. Let's keep the ball rolling here. Who's our next winner, guys?
Our next winner is Jeanette Cardenas.
Jeanette Cardenas. Congratulations, Jeanette.
Congratulations.
You know the drill. Get in touch with us as soon as you can. We want to get that shipping information, get your prize sent out to you right away. And I think we got one more winner, right? Let's see who we got.
we have Art Nieves. Hey,
Hey,
I
Art
recognize that
Nieves.
name. Art
Awesome.
Nieves.
Congratulations, Art.
Sweet.
I want to give a special thank you to Art Nieves. Our boy is always holding it down for Heat Press Nation Facebook Live. I know you're tuned in before we get going. You're always active in the comments. We really appreciate that. And all of you for joining in. So for those of you who did not win, there's still a chance to get involved in this contest. It's very simple. All you have to do is like and share the video, and we'll be announcing the winners from today's contest on our next broadcast. But I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. I want to mention one more time our Facebook group, Heat Press Nation Creators. Great source of information. Get a little closer, to your Heat Press Nation family and other users in the marketplace. I want to remind you guys about our hashtag, HPN Creators. Want to see what you guys are doing out there, so please use that across all social media. And again, if you have any questions about anything we've gone over today, we're just a phone call away. It's on the bottom of the screen, 1-800-215-0894. Visit us at heatpressnation.com, and also our YouTube channel, youtube.com/heatpressnation. Content added weekly, archives of the Facebook Live, great stuff to check out. And I really just want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day, hanging out with me here on Facebook Live, sharing this wonderful information with our guests. You guys got anything to add before we close this out?
I think we're good.
No, we appreciate each and every one of you. Stay motivated, stay hungry. Hopefully everything works out well, and continue, just rocking on your business. Thank you, guys.
I got nothing to say after that. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, everybody.